Apple's M1 chip is not even 2 years old, but it is already the stuff in legends in the computing space. Released initially as an Intel processor replacement in MacBooks, the M1 outperformed expectations and flipped industry conventional wisdom, that small mobile chips lack the power to handle a computer's needs, so much that Intel's stock immediately took a hit. Now, with the M1 successfully powering critically and commercially acclaimed MacBooks, the large iPad Pro, and even a desk-bound iMac, Apple is bringing it to its second smallest tablet, the iPad Air. This is a huge deal in the industry, because the iPad Air, priced starting at $599, can be considered an entry-level product in Apple's product category. It's lightweight, 1 pound, and small enough that it has perhaps the second most diverse user base of any mobile product behind only the iPhone. The iPad Air wouldn't be out of place in a high school classroom, on the kitchen counter, or at a law firm. This means Apple's M1, the ultra-powerful chip that was initially eaten into Intel's market share, is now also powering Apple's mobile devices, which means mobile chip giant Qualcomm has to be on alert. From a consumer point of view, this new 2022 edition of the iPad Air is simply a superb deal, because it runs on the same chip that powers Apple's higher-priced, higher-tiered products, including the 2021 iPad Pro. And yes, whether in benchmarks or real-world testing, the 2022 iPad Air performed just as well as the 2021 iPad Pro 95% of the time, with the only time that I noticed the Pro's superiority when running a graphic-heavy benchmark. This means consumers are getting iPad Pro-level performance in a smaller, cheaper Air package. There are differences between the two. The iPad Pro has double the RAM and base storage, a screen that refreshes at up to 120 Hz, better speakers, and the option to go larger, 12.9-inch screen. But I'd wager for most average consumers, those features won't matter enough to justify the higher price tag. Everything else is the same. The iPad Air runs on the same software, it supports the same Apple Pencil stylus and keyboard accessory, and run all the same apps. This makes the iPad Air the new go-to iPad most people should buy. By now, most readers should know how an iPad works, right? It's essentially a supersized iPhone, running software that is just a fork of the iOS powering iPhones. This means any iPhone app that runs on your phone can run on the iPad, but often there are iPad-specific versions that take advantage of the larger screen and different aspect ratio. iPadOS does bring one upgrade over iOS, and that's true multitasking.